Hi, this is Brijesh Dalmia from Masterstroke, and thank you so much for joining in. And today we have a handsome guest on our show, Mr. Ajay Khandelwal from Motilal, and we are going to talk about a few things. So stay tuned and welcome to you, Ajay.
Thanks for having me, sir.
So we were just discussing before you came, markets are at 70,000 and what should MFDs do? And I think MFDs are more concerned than investors, and investors are not thinking about profit booking. They are not thinking about anything. They just want to continue their SIPs, and most of them are okay. They're busy in their family, their business, their professions, and who cares? What do you think?
So, same question is asked by many partners, and to be true, even we grapple with the same question: that if market has moved, what should we do? And with experience, you learn that one is you have to look at data objectively. And then second, you have to understand cycles, how markets behave, how investors behave, and how we have also made mistakes in the past. So if I have to look at both of these things, and especially the concern about small cap, I think my experience is that small cap, even of the past 2008 cycle, 2013-15 cycle, these small caps, there is complete difference in the way they conducted their business. One. Second, the kind of now capacity they have to take any kind of adverse movement in the market. That is what differentiates them, I think, from the past. So I think those two things also will give confidence to people that, sir, now their ability to face any adverse situation has improved drastically.
So Ajay, last week, चार election results आए, and market has cheered those election results. What do you make out of these political results, which resulted in all-time market highs? Is it going to sustain? What's your overall view?
So see, as I think you also keep on telling about, timing the market is difficult and it is not fruitful also. But even if we have to see from near to midterm, I think there are certain changes in economy. For example, the formalization of economy now with the GST implementation, those kind of structural shift, I don't think they are dependent on any kind of now change in government. The supply chain diversification, that those kind of things will continue to happen. But yeah, there are certain pockets of market, for example, infrastructure. Some businesses where the dependency of business coming from government is high. There, I think there is clear now visibility in market. And so you can see certain sectors and certain stocks did well, because there's always this question which is hanging with that: if changes happen, then there'll be some kind of impact will happen. But by and large, if I have to look at now, India is in that phase where some of these changes will become immaterial in midterm.
So Ajay, Motilal is coming out with a small cap. I'm personally very surprised. And this is very interesting for you to come here and speak about this. Highest index, small cap is trading all-time high. Sensex is trading all-time high. Everything is looking good. But history says that performance rotates. And we were only discussing 15 minutes before that every year small cap is up. Next year or next to next year is a very big fall in that category, whether it is large cap, mid cap, or small cap. What's your view on this?
Well, see, I think looking at last 15, 20 years of Indian market history, after going through all these troubles, where from 2008 global financial crisis to thanks for the suggestion, Rahulji. So जैसा last 15-20 years में problem हुआ है market में, from global financial crisis to in 2010, 2013 taper tantrum, we have seen GST implementation के कारण IL&FS, now all diseases, wars, जो सब कुछ हुआ है problem. So like us, small caps have also learned their lessons. जैसे COVID के बाद, you've seen people are more concerned about physical well-being, mental well-being. People are now saying, "Bhai, I don't need to spend money on these unnecessary things." So similarly, we see that mindset change in small cap promoters, जहाँ पे वो भी clear है कि ये part of business पे focus करना है, यहाँ cash conserve करना है, कैसे मैं इसको अच्छा कर सकता हूँ, अपने business को strong कर सकता हूँ. So ये जो mindset change है ना, where they are focusing now on return on capital, on conserving cash. So I think वो change ही है सर, जिससे कि आज आपको मार्केट जो हम हाई की बात कर रहे हैं, बट is it not backed by fundamentals? And has everything moved in small cap or what? If you look at specialty chemicals, which were doing so well in 1.5, 2 years, stocks are down 30 to 50%. If you look at building material, the plywoods, the MDF companies, the tile companies, they are down 30 to 50%. The AC companies, durable companies. So there is clear distinction in market. Is not that everything has risen up, and clearly if it is not back fundamentals, I think we should be concerned. First thing. Second thing is, sir, in this journey, personally, I feel how advisors and we fund managers look at it is, जब एक अर्निंग अपग्रेड साइकिल होता है तो आप उस अर्निंग अपग्रेड साइकिल में कहां पर हो. आफ्टर 13 years स्मॉल कैप इंडेक्स ने 150 रुपी ईपीएस क्रॉस किया, 21 में वो 200 गया, आज वो 500 पे है. इन नेक्स्ट 2-3 years एक्सपेक्टेशन इट विल गो टू 800-900 रुपीज. अब अगर ये 500 से 900 रुपए की जर्नी हमने मिस कर दी, देन वेल्थ क्रिएशन विल बी मिस्ड. एंड विल इट बी straight line? No, there will be volatility. Of course, there'll be ups and downs. Some sectors will see some kind of challenges. So small caps में finding good idea and tracking it religiously is equally important. But wealth creation जो होना है sir, between this 500 to 900 rupees EPS journey, if वो miss होगा तो then clients will really miss a good opportunity of creating wealth.
Okay, so Ajay, please allow me that for the next 20 minutes I will play the devil's role. I'm convinced.
Absolutely.
But I will try to ask questions to clear myself up. And because you are an expert in small cap, you are an expert in equity and research. So I will ask you devil question, which doesn't necessarily mean that I'm doubting, but I want to clarify my questions. Now, there is a continuous debate in the marketplace among MFDs, and even the AMC guys come out with data points that chota hai to acha hai in terms of the size of the fund, in terms of ability of delivering alpha, ability to deliver better returns if the size of the fund is small. In my opinion, historically, when I have seen, and I stand to be corrected, the data doesn't support this. AMCs with having 3,000 crores of assets in a scheme are delivering 8%, and AMCs with having 30,000 crores are delivering 30%. Do you subscribe to this idea that chota hai to acha hai fund, especially in a small cap category, and why? And do you have any data points for this?
No, sir. See, data plus my own experience. See, before that, I was managing 8,000 crore small cap fund. Okay. So I have seen both sides. Before that, I was managing a very small AUM small cap. So my understanding after handling both side of schemes is that small caps require you need to be nimble, because there are certain challenges which are there, which are peculiar to small caps. So our ability to respond is important. Now, when markets and economy is in a place where there is volume growth coming in two-wheelers, where volume growth coming in staples, that tells you that overall health of economy is very good. But when there are data points which suggest that some part of economy is under pressure and there's some part of economy is doing well, then that nimbleness clearly helps. Now, over period, why I'm saying is because this category, I think last 5-7 years, it has gained prominence. So before that, you see the size of small cap schemes were small. Last 5-7 years is where a lot of inflows have come. And also from 15-16 onwards, you have got those kind of companies which have come to market in small cap, where we have good promoter pedigree, where we have good balance sheet hygiene. If I want a 15% plus ROCE business, if I want a business which can generate free operating cash flow, and over period it can generate free cash flow, some of those aspects जो कि आपको चाहिए होता है एक बिजनेस में हो. आज अगर प्रॉब्लम से आपको डील करना है, तो अगर मेरे पास किसी के उधारी का पैसा नहीं है, मुझे फर्क नहीं पड़ता उतना कि कल क्या प्रॉब्लम होगा। तो आज जब वो हेल्थ ऑफ बिजनेसेस आज अच्छा है, then I am much more confident, because at the end of the day, as a fund manager, I want good opportunity at reasonable price where my fair value gives me decent upside. Correct, that is my job. So in small caps, abhi why I'm saying is, sir, okay.
Hindi English mix, 75% English is okay, 25% Hindi
Yes.
is okay. That's how
Yeah.
it works.
Sorry. So thanks, Senthil. So what I'm saying is, now in small cap, you have 525 stocks above 2000 crore market cap. Now, the average revenue that way of large small cap itself is like the largest small cap is doing 3-4 thousand crore of revenue and almost 3-4-500 crore of PAT. So the size has changed drastically in small cap. The overall basket of stocks, 500 plus opportunities you have to choose from. That is why I'm saying that from below 2015, the kind of small caps that were working, you will see infrastructure related, asset intensive, have more dependency on few, either product or geography. Now you look at the businesses, they have become more scalable. They have more resources available to them. Now they are talking about, even in terms of management bandwidth, they want professional management, not just first layer, second layer management changes we can see happening. They are spending money on R&D, trying to make sure that your product and services has niche, it has pricing power, they can defend the margin. So that is why I'm saying that small cap landscape has changed. That gives me the confidence. And our job is to find some reasonable valued stocks.
No,
That is
so
why.
again, my question was specifically to the fact that is a 500 crore or a 5,000 crore small cap fund better than a 25,000 crore small cap fund, and why?
So somewhere, see, it is like this. If I am carrying 40 kg of weight and running, and somebody is carrying 2 kg of weight and running, at some point in time, you will see the one which is lesser weight has more nimbleness. Now, why I'm saying is because earlier these schemes were not that large. A 20,000 crore fund, if he wants to buy, say, 1.5% in a 4-5,000 crore AUM market cap company, they have to take almost 250 crore, which is 5-6-7% of company. That is for one scheme. At AMC level, if they have couple of more schemes investing in the same stock, you will have almost 8-9-10% of the company, and then obviously, liquidating position.
So it means that, okay, we should invest in a small cap fund which is small, and we should exit that small cap fund when it becomes large after delivering performance. Do you think so?
Sir, no
No, I'm
right,
stretching it because it's a very important question, Ajay. Because
sir, no right or wrong answers, but
okay, we'll move on. We'll move on.
yes,
Yeah,
sir.
okay. So another question. In 2018-19, approximately, I read a white paper, not actually white paper, it was in the yearbook of one of the largest AMCs, that over last 15-17 years, the long-term CAGR return of large cap, mid cap, and small cap had a variance of 1% CAGR. And they said that it doesn't really matter where you invest. Returns are almost similar to the economic growth and overall census growth, and the difference was only 1%. Do you think that continues to happen, or things have fundamentally changed in the last 4-5 years? Do you think small caps eventually will outperform mid cap and large caps? Because that data of 2003 to 2018 did not support this.
So, sir, again, I will give you an honest answer. Small caps do not have visibility like large caps. Large cap, their addressable market, their market share, the risks are well known. In small caps, because the addressable opportunity and risk, every quarter we understand what are the risks in a business. We do our homework, but then even then, every quarter we get to know, okay, this is also something which is a risk, and we need to find out how a business, small cap business, is mitigating that risk. So now we are, maybe in last 3-4 years, we are seeing, when I say small caps, the whole spectrum has changed for small cap. From 2014, we look at the data till 2021, the debt to equity for small cap was 0.7. Now it is 0.3. Sir, the leverage in small cap really hurts them. If it stays low leverage, I am telling tomorrow, whatever may happen, small caps will continue their journey because it is simple. The growth differential is higher. So going by the historical data, we have to look at not just return, we have to look at what was the health of business. If today my health of business is different, then I have a different opinion. But if again it starts leveraging the small caps tomorrow, start again leveraging, taking more loans, I'm sure small caps will correct. So that is what I'm saying, that every quarter we have to look objectively. If they are moving in the right direction, I have zero doubt in my mind that they will outperform. Because the simple answer, sir, very simple. Today's small cap index, if earning growth is 25%, if a large cap index, the growth is 12 to 15%, no way they can deliver similar returns. Two stocks in same sector, if somebody is growing at 25%, other is growing at 10, 12%, do you think the multiples are same, their return delivery is same? It is as simple as that. It cannot be. That is all we are saying.
All right. So is the reason for you to launch a small cap fund is because you mentioned there are certain sectors, certain stocks which are not doing well, like specialty chemicals and things like that. You want to focus on those sectors. Can you give some idea of where you want to focus on, which kind of sectors, any heavyweights that you are looking at in terms of sector allocations? Why should somebody allocate funds to small cap to you right now?
So, sir, I think first is there is clearly need in the market for a good small cap scheme with reasonable size AUM, which can participate in current stocks and ideas which other large AUM small cap schemes are not able to capitalize on it. See, why a fund manager is having 70, 80, 200 stocks? Who would like to have 200 stocks, sir? If you can have right allocation with right liquidity, if it can be built in a lesser number of stocks, I think every fund manager would like to do that. But the size has become a challenge, to be true. So I think there is clear requirement for that, one. Second, our point is we see the earning growth of small cap continuing for next 2-3 years, given the order book visibility, given the segments that they are in. It is very simple that if I see growth coming of north of 25% for next 2-3 years, we are absolutely sure this will make money. So I think with Moti, over period, we have gained enough experience. Now we have almost 120, 130 small cap companies under our active in-house coverage. Because see, to come up a scheme, we need to have at least right skill set. So we have that right skill set. We know this market requires, there is a need for this product. We have clear visibility about the quality of earnings. So this is why we are coming up with an NFO. Now about sectors that you spoke about. Here also, I think we have a very clear mindset that how we are looking at it is what is driving this growth. So if I say that make in India, the PLI schemes, the import substitution is driving this growth, it is helping not just one sector, it is helping multi-sectors. So it is helping auto, it is helping defense, railways, electronics, manufacturing, capital goods, textiles. So we are looking at these earning tailwinds, these growth drivers, and we are trying to find which are those sectors which are benefiting out of it. So for example, this whole theme will have 35% allocation. Financialization in India is clearly something which is there, and how technology has reduced the frictional cost. We believe there are so many good opportunities and at reasonable price. You look at all the intermediaries, distribution businesses, there's long runway for growth. Healthcare, for example, when India requires so much of healthcare improvement, and now there are good scalable businesses who are delivering that kind of return on capital that they can fund their growth through their internal accruals. So this has become a scalable opportunity. Then we are looking at urbanization because so much change is happening. So more than sectors, we are looking at what are the growth drivers and which are the sectors benefiting out of it. So I gave you example, manufacturing 35. All these other themes will have 5 to 7% kind of allocation. And then in small cap, you have always have these bottom-up ideas where change in management, new product, capacity commission happening, and all those things we'll find new ideas. So we will make a good, reasonably priced portfolio because we are starting now. We are not looking at 40, 50 PE stocks. We are starting now. We want to have a reasonably priced, good portfolio with fair upside to the valuation comfort we should have. So that is what we are saying, sir.
So, point noted, Ajay. So, I'm curious to know this, that small cap has gone up crazily in the last 6 months, 1 year. Many stocks are up by 50%, 70%, and even 100%. Are you willing to look at those companies also which have gone up by 50, 70, 80% in the last 1 year? How courageous it would be? And or you would be liking to focus on stocks which actually did not participate in the current rally? What is the strategy?
Correct. So, sir, it is again very simple and honest. Between quarterly results, if a stock has moved by 30, 40%, do I have any basis to really justify that? If in 2 quarters my earning upgrade is 20%, stock has moved up 200%, it cannot justify that kind of re-rating. It becomes difficult. So when I buy a stock which has moved up, is only because after result I see my numbers upgrading. Otherwise, it is again like participating in momentum without having any real basis for it. So any stock which has moved up, say 50% last 3-6 months, I'm only a buyer if I see upgrade in my numbers. Until unless I will not. So because we are starting now, we are simply saying we need to find right opportunity which are reasonably priced. I don't want to go because I'm just building risk if I'm buying a high PE stock without even seeing the results.
Point taken. So we will take some questions from the, I think there are some interesting questions by participants. And if you have any question, please do write me in the chat box or the Q&A box. One question which is quite interesting. Gauri Shankar is asking, Motilal has a micro cap fund also. Can you please comment on the past performance till date? And should money be moved from micro cap to small cap NFO?
Well, again, a very simple answer. Microcap has done really well in last 3-6 months. It was a passive strategy, again, based on the feedback given by the distributors. So for certain risk profile of investors, I think they wanted that kind of strategy. So as you also explained very nicely, it is all about that investor's risk profile, his investment horizon. If somebody has that kind of capacity to hold, because then it is a passive strategy, right? Okay. So it is not that we are tracking earnings. We will be making changes to allocation. It is a passive strategy. And if the overall economy, if it continues to do well, all these smaller names, they do well. For us, what we suggest is based on the investor's risk profile. I think small cap as a active strategy, considering the growth and risk profile, I think a decent 3 to 7 year, 5-7 year investor should have a larger small cap allocation. But if the investor is behavior and risk allows him, then he can continue to have micro cap strategy. But if somebody already has a higher allocation to small and micro, please be careful.
So to extend this question, what is the right allocation kind of in a small cap portfolio? Because last 1 year, any which way, you must be noticing that the portfolio of the clients have swelled in favor of mid cap, small cap. What should be the ideal exposure for a reasonable investor of 30, 40, 45 years of age bracket out of 100 rupees small caps? What is the allocation percentage?
So, sir, see, my job is I focus on companies, their fundamentals. So from my experience, I'll tell you.
Yes.
When I look at my portfolio, what I do is I do the rebalancing based on where I see which sectors, which businesses are doing well, keep adding there, and then reduce. Where I see that upside is lesser. I think the same approach should be there for investors also, because I think you guys are better placed to be true what allocation should go into small cap. But I'm generally saying, because even I do the same thing in my portfolio, when I see upside coming in certain sectors, whether it is those part of economy, I add it to that allocation. So based on now next 2-3 years, where we have clear visibility that all the uncertainties now out of our way, there could be some volatility. Clearly, if tomorrow globe again has some problems, we may have some knee-jerk reaction, but you see, it is always a V-shaped recovery coming because eventually it is fundamentals which drive, right? So if fundamentals continue to do well, investors have to keep allocating towards small cap. But I think you are in a better position to answer what is right allocations.
Ajay, and with all positive intent, I'm saying this. As a distributor, हम कुछ सोचते हैं स्मॉल कैप बड़ा हो गया, बड़ा रिटर्न आ गया, प्रॉफिट बुक करते हैं, अभी से निकलना चाहिए, एंड सडनली समबडी लाइक अजय खंडेलवाल कम्स एंड ही स्पीक्स इन फेवर स्मॉल कैप, और पूरा ब्रेन वॉश हो जाता है, लगता है नहीं पड़े रहो, लगे रहो और पैसा डालो. कैसे करते हैं आप ये सब? इतने अच्छे डेटा पॉइंट इस तरह से कन्विंस करते हैं, ऐसा लगता है जैसे कि निकालने की तो बात छोड़ो और पैसा डाल दो.
सर, I'll tell you, it is all about if इस क्वार्टर में if there are say 1,000 small cap companies have given results, if I can clearly see all brokerage reports upgrade आ रहे हैं, the ones we track, we see that earning upgrade आ रहे हैं cycle में, then you have to be convinced. And I'll give you example, क्योंकि क्या होता है sir, in large cap ना earning upgrades and downgrades are very little. You have 5, 7, 10% earning upgrade downgrade. In small cap, why this great wealth creation happens is because earning upgrade is 20%, 40%, 50%. And that's why then your re-rating happens. Stock gives you 100% return in 3-6 months. And so what we go with is, it is a good business. This is my earning expectation. Every quarter, I have to see whether it is delivering better than that. And I continue to make money. So it is as simple as that, because you have to see 2-3 years whether visibility is there, it is clear. You have to be bullish. In markets, you can't make money if you are not optimistic, bullish about it. And small caps, you always have those good pockets to invest, sir.
अजय, एक दुविधा है, मेरे पास लमसम भी है और रिकरिंग सैलरी भी आती है. पैसा लमसम डालूं स्मॉल कैप में इस इंडेक्स पे, एसआईपी करूं?
Sir, see again, sir, if you have already small cap allocation, which is 40-50%, please don't do lump sum.
This question is posted by Vijay Meena. लमसम करना चाहिए, एसआईपी करनी चाहिए?
तो अगर आपका allocation already high है, please आप STP करिए. But आपका allocation, if it is 10%, suppose 10% small cap allocation, small cap again delivers 100% return in next 2-3 years. How will it help an investor? Because on 100 rupee base, you will add only 10 rupees. 10% incremental alpha, how will it help? You have to have say 30-40% and then return comes. That only will move the needle, right? See, you will get excited. Sometimes we get excited. Stock become 100 to 300. How much did I allocate?
Correct.
Whether it was 0.2% of my allocation or whether it was 2% of my allocation. So that allocation matters more than, I think, the return part of it. And that is what I'm harping on. Given the earnings cycle, if our allocation is not right in small cap, we'll miss this journey of wealth creation.
What is easier as a fund manager, to beat index in a large cap, mid cap, or a small cap fund?
Mid cap is difficult, sir. What is happening is mid cap categories, that 150 stock now, there are certain stocks where you don't like to buy as a fund manager because the balance sheet quality is not good. And sometimes now, given a time like this, if those kind of stocks do really well now, that capacity to invest that 150 bracket becomes very challenging. I have managed both. Large and small is still easier. Honest opinion, even though our motif mid cap is doing exceedingly well. So you see, because actively managed, because those things are well understood. But if I have to look at all three categories as a fund manager, honest opinion, still, Niket is doing it consistently, so fantastic, and he's very focused about it. So if you know your challenges, what you have to deal with, accordingly you act.
Lovely. Any final thoughts on the small cap? Anything you want to pitch to your MFD friends to bring it to their investors?
So see, sir, one thing I want to tell here is that why you should look at small cap and pay attention is because we are telling, one is we are starting now, our portfolio will be reasonably priced first. Second, my experience is your bottom part of portfolio, if I do the attribution analysis, it never helps. So a long tail portfolio, it somewhere normalizes your returns rather than help it. What we are saying is we will give you 1.5 to 4.5% allocation. We will not go beyond 4.5% in any stock. So we are not building any risk, but we will not have this 0.2, 0.3 allocation. That is clear. No 0.3, 0.4 allocation, 1.5 to 4.5%, and a good portfolio of reasonably priced small cap stocks with a simple thought process, follow the earning, and every quarter religiously make sure that earning delivery is there, otherwise act on it. That's what we are saying.
Ajay, I must say that it's a very courageous activity. It's a very bold decision. It's a very strong decision that in such a market, Motilal, and you are coming out with a small cap NFO. Hats off to you guys, and all the very best for this NFO. And I think from the chats that people are really interested still in the small cap journey. And I hope it pans out well for all of us. Thank you so much, Ajay.
Absolutely, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Thank you.